Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is yet another Frontline Changes report. And again, a lot of frontline changes over the past 24 hours, building on the previous Frontline Changes report that is published on the main channel. And so I'm gonna talk more about the maybe some content strategy, content or formatting changes, but I'm just going to jump into the frontline changes first. The first is the Zagorokivka. This is the only one that is positive for the Ukrainians in terms of the frontline change over at the Kupiansk front. Then we have Druzhba, Pivnishny, Sumy, Krasnohorivka, as well as Staromayorsky. So we're going to go into the ones at Zagorokivka first, over at the Kupiansk front. And this is, so in case you are lost, this is Kupiansk under the Ukrainian control. And of course, this is the front line. And Zagorokivka is actually over here. There's no really buildings around here. Maybe there used to be a small little village that was already demolished. And over this location, there is Ukrainian forces geolocated along this tree line, getting shelled by Russian forces. This shows that the Ukrainian forces have retaken this area here, some time ago. We're not sure exactly when, because the fog of war in this front line is particularly thick. So that's about it. This is a frontline change that is the only one that is very positive for the Ukrainians. Otherwise, everything else is going to be very pro-Russian from now on. So the pro-Ukrainians, if you do not want emotional damage, you can actually lock off now. Emotional damage. And then the next one is going to be at Druzhba. So we jump straight into the New York front at the Donetsk or New York offensive. I think it's fine to call this the New York offensive, because now the whole front line is under attack in three different directions. And basically this is the entire New York front. This is the New York front. So we are basically, this has went from a Donetsk offensive to becoming a New York offensive. And anyway, over at Druzhba, so there is a new update. Russian forces geolocated right here at this part of the settlement of Druzhba, which means that the Russian forces have actually entered into this area here. And I'm not sure when and how. This is 1 kilometer deep from our previous front line, and around 1.2 kilometers from this pumping station that the Russian forces have previously captured. According to the Russian mapping mapped it in this way. They show that the Russian forces actually went up along the railway and actually enter into this street around here. Regardless how they reach there, this is a significant frontline change. I'm surprised that there is no Ukrainian forces defending along this forest or thingy over here. Let's change the mapping and see, is that a river? Yeah, it's a river. It's the Balmutka River. So there is some kind of river which where as a result along the river there's a lot of trees growing along the streams, and I thought that the Ukrainians would have defended from that position, preventing a breakthrough. However, the Russians broke through, and the number of breakthroughs that we see at the New York front clearly shows that the New York defense line entirely collapsed, as far as I can tell. And I have mentioned this before over in the situation report, which a lot of you guys don't watch, I know. Anyway, this is in my opinion a direct result of the Kharkiv offensive. Right before even the Kharkiv offensive was a thing, I already mentioned that there is zero reason for the Russians to go for Kharkiv city. And when the Kharkiv offensive started on the very first day, I say that this is going to be a diversion. This is just going to be another Chasivya offensive kind of thing, where it's just a diversion. And indeed, the Russians have stopped progressing. You can say that it's the Ukrainians that is doing very well in defending, but honestly, I feel that it's the Russians just deliberately pinned the Ukrainian forces over there, and the Ukrainians sent a lot of their best troops, the most well-trained troops, to fight in the Kharkiv front because they are so afraid of losing Kharkiv. And as a result, the Russians seems to have identified that the New York front has severely undermanned as a result. And they started the Donetsk offensive first, with the fighting reported in this direction from at Sumy, Pivdany, and around the Mayos region. So and that was when the front line was looking something like this. So the diversion has worked, and the Ukrainians seems to have left the most fortified front. This is the most fortified front line for the Ukrainians along the entire front line, and somehow I think that they are overconfident that the Russians will not try, which I personally also thought that the Russians will never go for a New York offensive because it don't make sense. It's too heavily defended. But apparently that there is just way too few Ukrainian forces that is defending in this region, and the Russians just call their bluff and went in all the way deep. So the due to this deep, we have a new deep over at the Pivnishny region, Zalizny region. So the Russian forces after they have already penetrated in, they went deeper, and they inserted their troops, their soldiers into this into the high-rise zone, the heavily defended zone, and basically they have entered into this. I wasn't meant to draw this, but no, it's actually not. It's an arrow. Okay, into this area, and they attracted Ukrainian artillery fire. So the artillery fire is the geolocation to show that the Russian forces have actually entered into this high-rise zone, and the high-rise zone tends to or had always been the citadel or castles for the Ukrainians. They had always been superb defensive position for the Ukrainians to defend or drag on a battle against the Russian forces, and somehow the Russians seems to enter this area rather quickly. And it does shows that there's a severe manpower shortage over at this front line on the Ukrainian side. Of course, we already said that there is the Russian forces already entered into Druzhba, and the fact that this area have changed so fast. This is what I think is currently happening. Of course, this should be in the sit rep. I don't know why I talk so much. The frontline change around here. Russian forces geolocated in the high-rise zone, showing that the Russian forces have extended this entire phallic shaped front line deeper into Pivnishny, just off Zalizny. And based on Russian mapping, the Russian mapping from Ryba shows that the Russian forces have closed up this entire area. Clearly, this position cannot be defended. The Ukrainian forces would be encircled, and a withdrawal from the Ukrainian forces away from this Dacha region makes perfect sense. They probably are marching through the forest trying to run home. Not home. I don't think they have any home left. But run to safety. So this is the current situation around at this area. If the Ukrainian forces go into the forest, I don't think they're going to stay there. I think they're going to quickly continue, go into the settlement and actually go into the rear positions as fast as they can. Because I think even the forest is going to be encircled easily from two sides. So anyway, that's the situation over at the Pivnishny. And of course the Shumi one. So the there's another frontline change is over at Krasnohorivka. So over at the Battle of Krasnohorivka, there is some updates. So the front line here is getting hornier. You see there's a very sharp horn now. So the Russian forces are geolocated along this residential area, expanding their control from these two pokes into one massive poke. So this poke over here is going to be a very tricky one because it's looking very sharp, and it's going to cause operational encirclement over in Krasnohorivka. As I mentioned multiple times before in the situation reports, Russian forces are pushing northward on the western part, and if they manage to cut the road around here, and we already have another Russian push coming along this water body over here, this river, Lozova River. I used another mapping, maybe it's clearer. So you see it's clearer now. If the Russian forces continue to push down this road, this Belinsky Koho road, and the Russians are also pushing northward from the west, this will cause an operational encirclement. Ukrainian forces around here is going to be encircled, and so this is a critical situation right now. The Russians are still making progress over on the western part. So rather situation is not good. So anyway, that's all for this poke over at the Krasnohorivka. And the last frontline change is over at Staromayoske, also at the Donetsk front. We in the previous situation report, previous frontline changes report already marked that the Russian forces have advanced in this area here, and there was this area that was some buildings around there that what we were talking about, saying that maybe this is part of Staromayoske. Without it, it's not a capture. However, based on Russian mapping, they claimed this entire area as well. The Russian forces have taken this entire area, and clearly this is a deadly place for the Ukrainians to hold a defensive position, because there's only one road, and this road will clearly be shot out. So Ukrainian forces withdrawing from this area, not in through the river, withdrawing from this area makes perfect sense. So Russian forces taking it now confirms the full capture of Staromayoske. So as a result, Staromayoske is now firmly captured and also reported by Ryba, the pro-Russian source. So that's about it. So these are all the frontline changes report over the past 24 hours. Yesterday, I did not manage to do the situation report, so we'll do a 2 days sit rep later on the DPA war channel. So now just talk. So the frontline changes report over. Just going to talk a little bit because this is on the main channel, where most of my subscribers are. And also YouTube pushed this channel much harder, so I can talk to you guys a bit more easier. So the situation report will still be published on the war channel. Now I'm trying to avoid, as you guys know, I do delayed post delayed telecast, or sometimes double posting at times. I really don't like it. I know you guys also feedback don't like it. I also don't like it actually, but so what I'm trying to do is now situation report will be on the war channel, frontline changes report will be on the main channel. So the idea now is to put the most interesting videos, or the videos that I think that more people would probably want to watch on the main channel. Situation report, which is something a bit more dry, will be on the war channel. Coverage of other wars like Sudan, Myanmar, Israel, Palestine may be also on the war channel. And I also created a new channel called DPA News. I haven't posted anything yet, so I will push the news into those channels, and so that's why the main channel I will put only the most interesting one, and also on geopolitics, maybe lectures on geopolitics. I'm thinking about it, and so it's gonna be there's gonna be some changes. I'm trying to see what works. It's not that I know what's happening per se, but I'm just trying to modify to make sure that it's clearer for everyone. Main channel will still be the core place where we all gather, and everybody can watch all the best stuff over here. The more routine, boring stuff, I push it to the sub channels, which is the war channel, and then this new one called the news channel, the DPA News. In DPA News, there will be the headlines and the broken news, and then I think, but I will see how this develops, because it's a new channel. It's not going to be monetized yet. It's going to we need to build up the hours and the subscriber base for that. But I want to explain why. I know, DPA built another channel here. Oh my God, so many channels. I understand that, but the main reason is that the YouTube algorithm have changed. Especially now is June, now July. In every June, it seems like YouTube will start a totally new algorithm, and now the algorithm favors a lot for new channels. So they want to push new channels and help new channels to find their audience. The problem with the main channel is that we have a lot of Ukraine war fans, and Ukraine war viewers many of them they don't care about geopolitics, and that's a problem. So, and when I post a video, these people don't watch the geopolitics on news, the video actually get punished by YouTube. So when the DPA's current affairs video come out, geopolitics, about BRICS or whatnot, people don't click on it. YouTube actually punish the channel. So this this is a problem that I cannot solve. So the only way I can solve it is to start a new channel, and then we will concentrate all the people who are interested in current affairs, news, geopolitics, economics, finance, internal politics into that channel. And this channel will continue to put the most interesting one, and probably more about lectures and very produced videos, reaction videos, these frontline changes, and all the more interesting videos, which I believe can reach a wider audience, can go further, even with the heavier number of Ukraine war fans, because ultimately the channel is bigger, YouTube will push it harder. So just some update about this thing. So anyway, thank you for watching. Check out the DPA war for the situation report, which will be published a few hours from now, not so fast, because I'm still waiting for more reports to come in before I publish the situation report. Hey, sorry. And also, yeah, when the DPA news, when I do publish any videos in, I will definitely share it into the community tab. And of course, you want to not miss anything and don't get so confused, just follow DPA Telegram channel or Twitter. Especially on Telegram, I think all the videos will be posted. Almost all the videos will be posted there. In terms of the links, it's easier to keep track of what I post rather than get confused. There's nothing to be confused. Things. I'm just separating into different boxes to make sure that YouTube treat us better. So anyway, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next update.